Have you ever wondered what it takes to record a professionally recorded song from your house? Let me show you my process of recording songs, and I've done that in the last couple of years where I don't go to a studio and I do everything from my laptop and from my home studio. And essentially what I'm doing is I'm hiring people from all around the world to play parts for my songs. In this video I'm using Fiverr, and Fiverr was kind enough to sponsor this video, so thank you Fiverr for that. You will find all of the links below, but let me show you my process of starting from a demo and getting the idea down, and then how I reach out to freelancers on Fiverr, how I hire them, how I communicate what I want for the song, and going back and forth with them to see if they're a good match, and then getting them to play, getting them to send me the WAV files or other parts, and how I'm using their playing to my mix and how I'm gluing everything together. So let me show you this process. Hiring musicians is a key part of releasing your own music, because we're not gods, we cannot play anything. I can play the guitar and I can sing, I can play the bass, but I cannot play the keys or the drums. So what I'm doing is usually I'm outsourcing the drums and the keys, sometimes the bass as well, it depends on the level of the bass I need to play in the specific song. And then it's really important to know how to communicate with them to get the best results out of them. And also, depending on your budget, you can go to the best player out there, and then you can go to the cheapest but get really good quality. Something I want to mention here is that price doesn't necessarily equals quality, because as you will see, I got some really nice multi-tracks and some nice playing for not a lot of money. So first of all, is all about the idea and the song. What I've done is I've laid down my ideas into a demo in a Logic Pro project. Having the demo is really important, because it gives them the vibe, it gives them the feel that we want for the song. And I'm trying to spend as much time as possible working on the demo, and especially with the drums, because I think the drums are quite important for the feel and the vibe and the pace of the song. Having a demo in a very good place is a very key element to having a successful collaboration with artists from Fiverr or any other freelancer or any other musician for that matter. Communicating your ideas on a demo will give them more of what you're going for and the vibe you're going for, and spending a lot of time fine-tuning your drums or fine-tuning the pace of the song and how the dynamics will work, and if there's going to be a crescendo at the end of the song, or if it's going to be an A and B sections and whatever it might be. Spending some time on your demo is crucial, because that's essentially your song. If the demo doesn't sound good, don't expect that hiring somebody will make it sound so much better. So starting with the foundation is really important. What I've done with Marco and the drums is I took my time and created a MIDI track with the aesthetic I was going for, the bass and the dynamics. So at the end we have this guitar solo that goes up in dynamics and becomes more exciting and more expressive. So I made sure to communicate that with Marco, and I'm really happy that Marco was one of these drummers that can take your idea and elevate it a little bit more. Let me play you the demo a little bit right now so you can get an idea of what I've sent them, and let's talk about what I received back. As you can see, the demo is in a good place. You can understand the vibe, you can understand the aesthetics and the foundation of the song, and that's quite important. So I've sent this to Marco, I've communicated a little bit of what I want. We've worked with Marco together as well a few times, so he knows what I like, but I think a really important thing to do is to send some references and things that you like. For example, I told Marco that I really like Pink Floyd and how the drums in Pink Floyd songs have these long breaks, so we definitely try to aim for that and to incorporate that into my own songs, and as you will hear, Marco definitely deliver on that. A quick side note is when you work with a freelancer, not necessarily only on Fiverr, but since we're using Fiverr, if you're approaching somebody on Fiverr, they might not be the right fit for you, and you have to really vet them and you have to really ask them questions before even you purchase anything with them. Definitely get a portfolio work, see what they've done, see the style, and if their playing matches with what you want to do. I've had this experience back in the day where I've hired a really good drummer, an amazing drummer, but his recording quality wasn't as good, so I've paid him the money only to find out that the recordings weren't really usable in a mix. And the sad truth is that if something doesn't work for your song, even if you've paid for it, maybe don't use it, maybe re-record it, maybe do something about it. If you're not happy, this is something that you're creating for the rest of humanity in a way. So you want this to be good, but you don't want to skim on the quality. Having said that, price doesn't necessarily mean quality. As you will see with this song, I've paid a little bit of money, not crazy amounts of money. And one thing I love about working with people on Fiverr is that you don't have to rent an expensive studio, you don't have to guess if the drummer will perform and if they will deliver on the 3 hours that you've booked the studio for, which I definitely had that, and I definitely didn't get enough tracks or takes to work with, and then I ended up having to pay for another studio and the drummer as well. Working with Fiverr and working in this way makes it so much easier to have something to show for, right? If you get back something that you don't like, you can ask for a revision, you can ask them to do it again, so you don't have to spend money on engineering or double guessing of what it's gonna sound like at the end, because you're receiving the files from them. Every artist, every musician on there will make something different, so it's up to you to find and to know and to test what you want, and try to figure out a few candidates and then message them, see how they respond, see how they're excited they are about this project and how they want to work with you. Spending a little bit of money, try somebody out. If you're happy with them, you can go and mix the song and use it. If you're not happy, just pay a little bit more extra and do another take. So now let me show you what Marco did with these drums. Marco was kind enough to send me a video of his playing as well, so I'm gonna add a little bit of that over the drumming that you're gonna hear. So let me show you Marco and his playing for this song. Something I did after Marco sent me back his drums was to record bass, and the reason why I left the bass after Marco's drums is because I wanted to follow his pace and his kicks specifically. I'm not a bassist, but I like to play bass and I really love the sound of the bass, so I chose to play bass in the song. And what I did is I tried to follow the aesthetic and the progression and the rhythmic section and the aesthetic of his drum set. For example, in the beginning you will see my bass had a lot of pauses and gaps in between my playing, but then as I progressed, as the song progressed to the final crescendo, my bass was a bit more loud, more had more compression and more aggression, and then more legato notes rather than short notes. Let's roll the clip from me recording the bass. And now we'll go to keys. Keys is something really new to me in terms of Fiverr, because I've never worked with an artist before from Fiverr. I have a really good friend and mate that records my keys, but since Fiverr reached out to me and offered to do this video, I thought, why not try something different and maybe actually hire somebody that has a B3 and has a bit more of a different aesthetic than what I've been using so far. So I've tried a bunch of people and I ended up using Willy for my songs. What I wanted to do with the keys is I wanted to record two separate tracks. One would be the Hammond and almost the backing of the mid frequencies and maybe a little bit of the low mids. And then I wanted a piano. I really like the sound of a piano in a blues track and I wanted to use that. With the idea of that will be really buried down in the mix, so it's not going to be prominent, but it's going to fill a little bit of the space, the sonic space I was going for. Especially in the beginning of the song, and the first verse doesn't have any guitar, so I wanted to have that body of sound for that. The guitars come a little bit later on the second verse. So when I contact Willy, I've sent him the demo and I've sent him a track without the keys. And I let him do his thing. This is really important, I think, because if you work with somebody, will have their own experiences, will have their own influences. So if you can afford to, try to get them to play what they think it's gonna sound good. And in this case, I was really surprised with what he did, because he came back, he played the keys, he played the Hammond as well, the piano and the Hammond, and he added some licks that I didn't necessarily told him to do that, but I told him to have the freedom to do it and to just fit your own vibe into the song, and he definitely did that. And I was really surprised with it. So let me show you what Willy did in terms of the piano. And now we come to the keys, the Hammond. Let me show you what Willy did with the Hammond and how much he elevated the song from just adding some keys. And now we come to the final part of the recording process, which means now I have to record my guitars and my voice. I like to gather all of the elements of the song and then come back and revisit my guitar playing. If the demo has some nice guitars and I like them, I might use them and I might keep them. I did that for one of the hard pan guitars, the rhythmic parts of the song, but I wanted to create something more on top of what everybody else created, because although the demo has a vibe, it doesn't have the feel and the aesthetic and the emotion behind it. So I wanted to capture that from these people and then apply my own emotion and my own spin to whatever I was playing as well. So when creating a demo, I tend to record as good as possible in terms of sound quality, so I'm able to use it if I want to, but I often don't, because I want to follow the pace of the other people that played on this track. So let me roll a clip of me trying to figure out the intro for the song as well as the last solo of the song. The solo, it took me a while to figure out what I want, and the clips from that might be a bit sporadic, but at the end I figured out what I wanted, I figured out what guitar I wanted to use, and then you will see it in this clip. Recording guitars can be a very tricky process, and take your time, just practice before you go into the session to record something. Make sure you know what you're playing. I have a rough idea of what I'm playing because I've been playing this for a couple of days now, just trying to figure out what I'm gonna play, and tried a bunch of guitars. I tried a Strat, tried my Duosonic and my other Les Paul, but this Les Paul has the sound I really want for this track, so that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna record some guitars, see how it goes. Get some levels, get some ideas flowing, make sure I can hear my guitar properly, and also it's not clipping. I aiming to record my guitars to maybe minus 12 dB, 18 to 12, that's the range I want to record my guitar, so I can have a little bit more headroom to play with my virtual amps like Amplitude and stuff, and then I can have some room to play with compression and EQ, and to have a little bit more headroom to not clip the track, if that makes sense. So what I'm noticing with this guitar specifically is the bridge pickup is a bit more hot than the neck, so every time I go from the neck to the bridge I have more frequencies coming in, so I'm a bit mindful of that, but then that's why I'm recording in that space, so even if I push a little bit harder it doesn't clip. Let's keep on trying a bunch of takes and see how it sounds. I don't like this. So what I'm gonna do now, I think I'm gonna change my sound, because if I'm not inspired by the sound, I might try something different. A bit cleaner, you know, something like that maybe will work. See, immediately when I change the sound, immediately to me it sounds so much better. I'm so much more inspired than what I had before, so I'm gonna keep rolling with it. I think I'm in a good place. I will do a couple more takes and see how it goes. I'm really happy with this take, and what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take maybe one day. I'm not gonna listen to the track at all and then come back on the following day and listen to the song again. What I'm looking for is something that stands out to me. If nothing stands out and I like what I have made, then this is the one. If something is really hard, I don't like it, for example a vocal or a guitar line or anything like that, what I might do is I might go and retouch that, come back to it and try to make something work. But I'm really happy so far with this. What I'm gonna do is, as I said, take a little bit of a break from it, come back to it with fresh ears, and then just see if I like it or not, or if it needs any work. Lastly, recording my voice was a bit tricky because I did this in my own bedroom with not my microphones, not with the gear I would normally use, but I really wanted to make this song happen, and I really want to show you that you can really make music with what you've got. You don't have to have expensive gear to create music, and that was exactly what I wanted to show in this case and showcase for this video. So what I've done is I've used my Shure 55 mic that I really use for live, and it's not ideal for recordings, but having a pop filter on the front of the microphone and having a little bit of compression before it reached my DAW made a huge difference in terms of the quality. Obviously in the mixing process I will add a lot of noise gate and a little bit of compression and EQ as well, but let me roll the clip of the recording for the voice. So I'm about to record my vocals for the song, and what I'm using right now is a Shure 55 microphone. It's not ideal for recording, but at the moment this is the only mic I have around, and I'm waiting for some new microphones to arrive from an order, but I really need to get this done, and I really need to mix and master this song to get it out. So I want to try and use what I've got laying around at home. I use this microphone mainly for live gigs. It has a nice aesthetic and a nice look. Maybe it's not the best for recording, but I want to see how well it will perform, and also show you guys that you can just really use whatever you have laying around. You don't have to have an expensive kits and gear to record stuff at home. My process of recording vocals is very simple. I'm just plugging my mic straight into the interface, and I'm using a few plugins when I'm tracking just to get a bit of a flavor in my ear, so it feels a bit more natural, and I like the sound of it. Usually use a compressor, an LA2A compressor by Universal Audio, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of reverb just to give it a little bit more space and more flavor. Right, let's get going. It's your inner town you wanna hide. So this was the first take. Usually what I do with the first take is get a sense of the song, maybe see the levels in my ears, as well as maybe warm up my voice, although I've warmed up my voice a little bit before I started recording. Anyway, let's crack on and do maybe four takes of this. I'm happy with the levels, and yeah, let's keep going with this. To find a place I can belong, I know it now. It's not the place, it's the way you feel inside. It's your inner child you wanna hide. I think I have a good take. Let's hear it back again. And that's how I record my vocals. It's a very simple process. It's a very safe environment because I'm in my house. I'm not in a fancy studio paying lots of money, so I can do 5, 6, 10 takes, as many as I want. And for any reason, if it doesn't work, I can always come tomorrow, the next day, and have a good take. And there you have it, the whole song recorded from professional musicians, either myself or hired musicians from Fiverr. It's not mixed yet, it's not mastered yet, but this is gonna be coming up in another video. I'm gonna mix the song, I'm gonna send the song to be mastered from a Fiverr engineer, and then I'm gonna show you in another video the process of taking the master, maybe communicate a little bit with the mastering engineer, getting the master in my hands, creating the artwork with a graphic designer, and also using somebody from Fiverr to promote the song. But this is coming up in a different video, so make sure to stick around with that. But I wanted to say thank you for sticking to the end and allow me to show you the process of what it takes for me to record these songs and to make my music. Then I want to say thank you to Fiverr for sponsoring this video, and you will find all of the links below. Also, you will find a link down below if you want to hire me as a session guitar player or as a mixing engineer to mix or play in your songs. Definitely check this out. I really want to build up my Fiverr profile and do a bit more work on there, because I really like this platform. I've been using the platform for a long time now, and I'm really grateful for them to being in touch and making this happen. Thank you for watching, thank you for sticking to the end. Make sure to leave a like if you like this video, comment down below your thoughts, and let's get a conversation going. If you have any questions about this process, please let me know, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the future video of taking the song and promoting it and doing that business side of things. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.